a little late in the game to pull out. Why a week before the election did you make this decision?
Well, actually, I put my offer out to both Blake Masters and Senator Mark Kelly a long time ago, really right after the debate, saying to them, look, I'm happy to sit down with either one under the same conditions. If somebody can convince me that it makes sense for the case of peace and freedom to be furthered, for me to step down and endorse them, happy to do it. It wasn't until yesterday that Blake Masters' campaign reached out to my campaign and said, okay, let's do it.
So Mark Kelly never reached out, his camp never reached out to try to figure out if there was a solution for you to drop out or that they would make appeasements in their policy or whatever it might be?
Never heard a word from the Kelly campaign, but I put the same offer out to both sides. I was very transparent about everything. Really would have preferred to meet with both of them and have an extended discussion and then make a decision. But apparently the Kelly camp was not interested in talking to me.
Mark, during the debate, just as an observer, it seemed to me that you were harder on Blake Masters than you were on Mark Kelly. It kind of surprised me that you dropped out and endorsed Blake Masters.
Well, I try to be fair to both sides. You can also note that I also agreed with Blake Masters at one point. We agreed on the water rights question. Yes. We agreed on the nuclear power plants question. So I try to be very fair and even-handed to everybody involved in the debate, and that's the way I act on occasions with all people.
So you had an unscripted, as I understand it, unscripted and recorded conversation with Blake Masters hashing this all out.
That's true. That was an absolute inflexible condition of mine if they wanted to have a conversation. In fact, people are free to review it for themselves. It's available. It's on the internet. I think it's probably all over the internet at this point, but anybody who wants to see it can see it at liveandletliverevolution.com.
Okay, Mark, I have to ask you. It's the million-dollar question. No pun intended. You know the chatter out there. There are people who assume Peter Thiel may have lined your pocket to get you to drop out. Did you accept or get any money from the Masters folks to drop out?
Not only did I not get any money, I didn't ask for any concessions of any kind whatsoever, nor did I get any concessions of any kind whatsoever. The only thing I wanted was a candidate who came on and did a public conversation with me and laid out a whole bunch of positions on a whole bunch of issues to make me feel like that person was going to try to move our state and our country in a more pro-freedom direction. So to be super clear, didn't receive one dime, nor would I have accepted one dime. What I'm in this for is freedom, peace, and civility.
Please take it in the spirit it was intended. I have to ask you, because you know there's chatter out there.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to answer any question.
Okay, so the Live and Let Live global peace movement that you were looking for one candidate or the other to kind of align with. Can you give me a short synopsis of what that is?
Yeah, happy to talk about that. In fact, again, people can find out all about it, liveandletlive.org. But we basically have two rules. Rule number one, we call it our legal principle. I describe it with the very short phrase, don't be an aggressor. Nobody should get to aggress against another person. No person, no group, no corporation, not the government. And aggression, of course, means in a very simple way, laying hands on somebody, putting another person in danger, taking their things, not so confusing, the rules we learned in kindergarten. And then the second rule, which is our final rule, which is a moral principle. We describe this with the simple phrase, just simply be a good human. This is a voluntary rule that we want to inspire people to sort of adopt. And there are many aspirational values, among them open-mindedness, tolerance, civility, building high levels of trust with other human beings. What we're trying to do here is optimize human happiness and well-being and to minimize suffering. That's our moral principle.
Okay, so give me on the plus side where Blake Masters aligned with that, where you said, okay, I can support him, and then tell me what was the biggest hurdle where you disagreed with him.
Yeah, fair questions. People should watch the interview. It's only about 20 minutes long. They can make their own decisions. But virtually everything in the economic realm, sound money, lower taxes, less spending, cutting the debt, all of that stuff. I think we were virtually 100% aligned on that. We need to get our financial house in order. On the civil liberties side of things, I actually was pretty encouraged. He gave me good answers on many issues, including immigration. I even talked to him about euthanasia. My most disappointing answer, where there was the most daylight between us, was the drug war. But he went pretty far to say that marijuana should be treated like alcohol, and also that the federal government should be mostly out of the federal drug war. So there's a little bit of daylight between us on that.
What about the 2020 election stuff?
We didn't talk about that at all. I mean, it was a very short interview. I would have liked to have drilled down much more on every issue, but we didn't get into that. During the debate, he did ultimately say that he thought the election, that Joe Biden was lawfully elected as president, so I'll accept him at his word on that.
With 1 week to go, I mean, people are going to ask, why not do it earlier, that your name still appears on the ballot? We went through this with Matt Salmon in the primary, the Republican primary, where he got out later than his name ended up on the ballot. And some say that it may have cost Karen Taylor Robeson a lot of votes. But at any rate, did you want to do it earlier? Were you just waiting for the two camps to reach out to you?
Yes, I would have loved to have done it sooner. That's why I put the invitation out there sooner. But having a public discussion, 100% transparent, no backroom deals, that was a non-negotiable thing for me. And so this way, everybody can see the conversation. In fact, Blake Masters says at the very beginning, these are the first words we exchanged since the debate. I didn't want to do anything behind closed doors. I wanted it to be 100% transparent. I wish they had reached out sooner. We would have had a discussion earlier, but they waited until now. You'll have to ask them why they waited so long.
Okay, final question. You kind of played spoiler as well in the U.S. Senate race where Jeff Flake won. This was in 2012. Richard Carmona, the Democrat, lost by about, I think about 68,000 votes. And you got 102,000 votes. So some people thought you played spoiler in that race for Richard Carmona. Is that something you were trying to avoid in this race?
No, it's not something I was trying to avoid. I'm looking at the big picture. I think we got serious issues that we're facing as a state, as a nation, as a world. I think we got very serious threats that are global, maybe existential threats. We need to deal with them, and I am willing to do whatever I can do without sacrificing my integrity in any way or ethics in any way to try to get us more in that direction. I'm very happy that now I have at least Blake Masters, who is aligning substantially with what the Live and Let Live global peace movement is promoting. He's saying, I'm going to be a Live and Let Live senator from Arizona. I'm very happy with that. That's why I'm urging people to vote for Blake Masters. Let's give this guy an opportunity and see what he can do in the U.S. Senate.
Final question. Do you hurt the libertarian cause or the push that some people would like to see for a third party by pulling out?
I don't worry about those things. I am a lone wolf. I speak for myself. I'm committed to advancing the cause of freedom, peace, and civility. No matter who likes it or who doesn't like it, I'm not loyal to any particular party. I'm loyal to those principles and those values, and I'm not likely to stray from them for any reason whatsoever.
Marc Victor, thank you. And I think a lot of people would say you brought some heft to the race. So we appreciate it.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate seeing you.
Good to see you, Marc. Best of luck. Thank you.